With video games, there's a right way to update a genre, and there's a wrong way. The right way, cool modern interfaces and tweaks. The wrong way, microtransactions. The right way, focusing on the heart of the experience and being confident in bringing something new to the table. The wrong way, shameless appeals to nostalgia with nothing innovative. Luckily, today I'm dealing with the good kind of update. River City Girls is a near-perfect beat-em-up throwback. The music is unbelievably rad, the art direction is incredible, and the action itself is way more complex, deep, and awesome than I thought it would be. Every single aspect of this game is about keeping things hype. Grab a bat and raise some hell with me as I complete River City Girls.
Here comes a new challenger!
Yes!
Danger!
Hey everyone, and welcome back to another brand new episode of The Completionist, where we don't just beat the games, we complete them. River City Girls is a game that took me almost completely by surprise to become one of my top games of the year. Everything about this game is tight. Well, you know what they say, if you can't join them, beat them. If you have a soft spot for old school beat 'em ups, then you'll feel right at home picking up River City Girls. But what's amazing is that if you're new to the genre, this game still feels great to play. Even without nostalgia, River City Girls is an incredible action game that's deep, complex, and rewarding. The collaboration between WayForward and Arc System Works has resulted in an outrageously satisfying beat 'em up that utterly blindsided me. It's the strongest update to the genre in years. The plot is as simple gets. There are two girls, Misako and Kyoko. They go to River City High, or at least Misako does. Their boyfriends, Kunio and Riki, are kidnapped under mysterious circumstances. And so, our leading ladies are off to smash and bash their way through the city to figure out what the hell happened, rescue their boyfriends, and get revenge. To progress, you move through levels room by room, clearing waves of enemies by knocking them out with your fighting moves and occasionally recruiting them. River City Girls is appealing from the start, and it manages to keep the hype going for an incredibly long period of time. This game feels fresh and new, despite being inspired by a long-running series in a genre that can sometimes feel a little stale. This game bursts with personality and attitude, and it's an adrenaline rush all the way to the end, which is an amazing thing to say about a beat-em-up in 2019. No, the genre wasn't completely dead, as there have been some pretty good brawlers here and there, but River City Girls feels like it has what it takes to full-on revive this once prolific genre. It's a knockout! This game is crazy fun. River City Girls passes all of my metrics. Incredible co-op, radical attitude, great unlockables, and a tough challenge. All of these combine to make this the best modern beat-em-up game flat out. Everything looks absolutely awesome in motion. It's like a souped-up SNES title combined with a killer anime. It bleeds personality in every single frame. Even the item shops are unique and interesting and have their own distinct flair instead of generic shopkeepers. I thoroughly enjoy exploring every inch of this strange and beautiful city. And the soundtrack, oh my god, there is no reason for the music to rock as hard as it does. Every track got under my skin, and I found myself singing along, which the dogs didn't always appreciate. Whatever, Boofy, you can't silence me. Every piece of music is memorable and has just the right amount of repetition. Megan McDuffie, the main composer of the game, did a kick-ass job in bringing all kinds of synth pop to the table, and even sang all the tracks by the character Noise. I was honestly pumped to keep pushing through tough spots because the music is so freaking tight. Every track is still getting huge plays around the office. Alright, so this game doesn't require any prior knowledge of the Kunio-ku legacy, which surprisingly is kind of involved. Fans of the series or fighting games and beat 'em ups in general will get a kick out of the Easter eggs and extra content thrown in. Looking at you, Double Dragon fans. Role-playing elements have been smartly folded into the core formula, and I was constantly updating my ladies to kick even more ass than they already do. Who doesn't love the freaking feeling of pulling off a stone cold stunner? Oh hell yeah! Each River City girl can equip up to 2 items, and mixing and matching them can lead to some incredibly powerful combinations. It's just a little dusting of customization, but it feels really good to find and use new items all throughout the game. powerful items were used as rewards all throughout my various playthroughs, and they were always welcome. Speaking of which, there's a ton of stuff to unlock in River City Girls. My first playthrough of River City Girls was on hard mode, and my editor Patrick and I barely scratched the surface. On top of the different moves you can unlock from Misako and Kyoko, there are recruits you can get to lure to your side after fighting them in battle. Essentially, the last enemy you fight on screen will beg for their life if you stun them. In that moment, you just walk up to them and press a button. Every enemy that you fight in this game can be recruited, and on top of that, there are different variants of each enemy, including a tough and nightmare version. Naturally, there is a secret boss in this game. As I was uppercutting, elbow throwing, and ground stomping my way through room after room, I smashed up several Sabu statues. Most are right out in the open, but some require a little more work to uncover. Finding and destroying all the Sabu statues gave me half of a heart locket, and the other half was unlocked when I beat the game. I still haven't even mentioned the side missions that are spread throughout this game. Every new location has a side character like friendly neighborhood pervert Godai, who's voiced by Jacksepticeye. He just needs a little help finding an item or two. Doing these side missions is always worth it. Not only does it help fill that patented completionist void, the side missions provide tons of extra experience and money to help make progression easier. Speaking of Jacksepticeye, almost every single character that's voiced in this game is done by a friend of mine, which let me tell you is kind of a surreal experience. Hearing Dan and Aaron from the Game Grumps, Nate Wants to Battle, Anna Brisbane, there are so many talented people in this game that it's insane to think that they're all in one game together. I guess what I'm taking a long time to say is, this is a brawler with a ton to do in it. It's way more complicated than making it to the end of every level and beating every boss blocking the exit. Completing River City Girls required me to unlock my entire moveset by gaining levels and purchasing more moves in the dojo so I could officially knock out all the baddies. Fortunately, this was never a problem during my hard playthrough, as there were always lots of enemies to take down. As I played through the story, I realized that I'd have to go through and play this game multiple times. But that idea didn't fill me with dread. Instead, I was pumped because I loved what I was experiencing. I was so on board with River City Girls that I went out and found myself a Merv burger in real life. No, seriously, Way Forward had a pop-up food truck for River City Girls in Little Tokyo. I went to the dang food truck, met awesome fans out there, and ate food from the game. However, I do want to add that I don't think I could have made it through this game without a pal to punch with. It's always more fun and interesting to get through with a friend, and just reinforces all of the themes of the entire game. Friendship, loyalty, groin kicking, way better with couch co-op. A lot of beat-em-ups can end up feeling kind of tedious because of their repetitive nature. The co-op in River City Girls helps break up this feeling. Being able to strategize with a friend and get each other out of scrapes is essential, because essentially, I died in this game a fair amount. But I was never down for long because my partner could come down and stomp the life back into my chest like I was a broken DDR pad. I guess what I'm getting at is, the beat-em-up formula is perfect for co-op if you didn't know that already. In the cutscenes, the characters play off each other, so why not do it during the game as well? It's also helpful to have another character on screen to divide up the enemies, and having another fighter around opens up entirely new strategies. I mentioned earlier how this game gets deeper than I thought it would. It does more than that, my friends. River City Girls passes the Brett test, as Brett and I found out during our most recent playthrough of Super One and Done Bros.
For any game to pass my personal test, the basic elements of its combat system must inspire curiosity in the rest of the moveset and also encourage further experimentation with gradual open-endedness. Look, basically, the more things that link together, the better. And River City Girls passes this test with a limited set of skills that can go really far if you apply a little imagination.
Thank you, Brett. Like he said, once I started following the rabbit trail of combos and trying stuff out, I was hooked. There was always a new move to try out. I loved finding and using items to change up my strategies, because sometimes you just need to take out the trash. For a game that was published by the people behind Blaze Blue, the moves are surprisingly easy to pull off. Basically, every combo involves doing a string of light attacks and then ending with some version of a heavy or a special attack. I actually wish there was more involved button combos that required memorization, but I see where Way Forward was coming from in terms of trying to keep the game simple. The boss fights are excellent. There aren't too many, but they are perfectly implemented and each one feels like a miniature puzzle. Each one is all about figuring out the perfect time to swoop in and deal some damage without getting counterattacked. And almost every boss fight emulates a different type of style or game genre. All of the fights feel different from each other, which is a challenge in a beat 'em up. I appreciated the steps that were taken to make each boss fight feel unique. This game does so much to make completion easier as well. As an example, I thought recruiting every variant of every enemy in the game would be tedious since only the Nightmare and Tough skins can spawn in certain rooms. But it wasn't really that bad because there are tools in place for people trying to get every little thing. Normally when you enter a new room, you can't leave until a certain number of enemies have been defeated. And after that threshold has been breached, enemies will still appear, but they stop dropping money and experience. This is the perfect time to camp out and wait for the variant you're looking for to spawn. And after that, recruiting is a snap. You have to make sure the person you're trying to recruit is the last enemy alive on screen, or else you can't recruit them. Now, you don't really get anything for every single variant of enemy other than bragging rights, but it does feel good to fill out that page on the menu screen, which, by the way, the UI being on a cell phone is one of the coolest things that never failed to make me smile. Alright, so at this point, I have praised the game a fair amount, but now it's time to talk about the things that kind of bum me out. Not everything is flawless in River City Girls. There's just one or two little nitpicks that keep River City Girls from being absolutely perfect. Mainly, there are some weird button placement choices that completely break the flow in a lot of places. The biggest one being the interact button and the attack button are the same button, and there are plenty of times I exited a room when I was trying to punch a dude mid-combo. I'm not trying to leave, my guys, let me punch you! I also had an issue at times lining up my characters to be on the same lane as an ally or enemy. If I was just a pixel or two off, my attacks would whiff. Not the end of the world, but unbelievably frustrating when trying to revive my co-op partner, and being unable to because I was a frame away where I needed to be was pretty damn frustrating. When both me and my partner would die, we would lose a ton of money we had earned, which felt incredibly punishing. And this is super annoying, especially when you're trying to save up for the really expensive stuff in the late game. It didn't happen often, but it was brutal when it did. But taking a step back and looking at all of this, these aren't game-breaking issues. They were frustrating in the moment, sure, but the charm of the game carried me through. River City Girls is packed with flavor and attitude, and it is an absolute pleasure to play. I won't stop till I beat everyone to the ground! The unlockables and extras in River City Girls are awesome and felt totally worthy of my time. They require a little extra grit and determination, but are totally rewarding, and I'm glad I went that extra mile. It helped that my first playthrough was on hard and in co-op, so I was able to get most of the achievements in my first go. One of the best rewards the game has to offer is for beating the game once. Kunio and Ricky, the boys who need to be rescued, and River City Ransom series mainstays, are playable after beating the game, and their different movesets make New Game Plus an awesome experience. I do wish that Way Forward had gone all out and put brand new cutscenes and dialogue in the game to match with the new playable characters. But at the end, it's still pretty cool that they're in the game at all. That said, there are two items in this game that are available in a secret shop that required thousands of dollars to purchase. Fortunately, New Game Plus lets you carry over any cash you've earned from before. These items are incredibly powerful. There's one that turns your character into a tank class with insane attack power at the cost of low movement speed. The other cranks up movement speed a lot, and if you equip both items at once, your characters turn into an unstoppable pain-dealing machine, and it feels amazing. These items are maybe a little game-breaking, but they feel like good rewards for people who really spend the time to earn them. New Game Plus also slyly puts in another set of statues to destroy, or rather in this case, 25 cats to collect, and they only appear in New Game Plus, in different locations than the Sabu statues in the normal playthrough. Collecting these cats earned me an awesome cat pin item, which provided me with unlimited SP for special moves. These accomplishments and more are tied to the list of Steam achievements, and earning every one of these unlockables will get you the greatest achievement of all, the Completionist achievement. Now, I'm not so vain as to think that this achievement was named after me, unless reaching the secret final boss fight requires you to beat the game at least one time. When you beat the boss of the game, you are given half of a pendant. Breaking all 25 Sabu statues that are spread throughout the game earns you the other half. Equipping both pieces of the pendant and going into the final boss room will let you battle the true mean girls themselves, Hasabe and Mami. It feels so damn satisfying to whoop these girls, who are so catty and condescending. It makes me feel small and unfashionable and unpopular. Sorry, I got a little worked up there. It's not me. It's a hard fight, but beating the duo gave me yet another awesome item, the hair ribbon, which prevents stun and gives your co-op partner more time to revive you. Extremely helpful and a solid prize. If you look at your stat screens in the game, you will notice that you have a stat just like any other RPG would. Attack, weapon, etc. These stats naturally level up as you play the game. However, if you eat every single item at least one time, you will gain permanent stat boosts to your characters, which means that with all 4 characters, you have to get to level 30 and eat every food item in the game at least once to max out your stats. There are some items that aren't really food items that you have to buy as well, but those ones are a must to boost your stats up immensely. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, man, the math in this game means that you have to complete the game 6 or 7 times before you can get every single item. That would be the case, but WayForward added something special. Every time you beat a boss, all 4 characters, whether you're playing as them or not, get the experience and the money. So as long as you're doing missions and beating up the bosses, you're actually leveling up and getting money to all your party members, which means in the end, you only have to complete this game about 3 or 4 times tops. It really feels like at every turn, River City Girls gave me more toys to play with and more stuff to unlock. It definitely is impossible to unlock everything in just one playthrough, but I wouldn't want to anyway because it was so fun to play in this world. Feeling the beat of the music, enjoying the genuinely funny dialogue, and mastering each new move and character was a worthy challenge and made me feel pumped in a way that I haven't in a long time. When I completed River City Girls, there were 4 playthroughs, 1 on hard and the rest on New Game Plus in normal mode, so I could earn enough money and experience to master every move and get every item. 12 types of enemies recruited, with 63 total variant skins found. 7 bosses defeated, including the timeline-bending secret boss fight. 35 accessories earned, including the game-breaking, crazy expensive, and totally worth it tank and bunny buttons. 22 game overs because my little angel floated away before it could get stomped back into my lifeless body. And 1 real-life Merv burger, avocado salmon toast, and boba that was just as delicious as I had hoped. And I didn't have to even share it with Jacksepticeye like I did in the game. Which actually, he was there at the event, but we didn't see each other because we were so busy. But hey Jack, next time you see me, buddy, burger on me. River City Girls is a game that I never thought that I wanted until I played it. I played it for a little bit, and I instantly knew that this was going to be one of my top games of the year. Whether it's a collaboration between WayForward and Arc System Works, whether it's the incredible soundtrack, the gameplay being so tight and clean, this game is all about fun and passion. And the guys who made this game, the people behind the game, you can just tell that everything was specific and important. As far as the Completionist goes, yeah, this is a great game to complete, especially with a friend. There are a couple hiccups here and there, but nothing that's truly stopping anyone from really enjoying the game. So, with that in mind, guys, I give this game my Completionist rating of complete it.
Complete it!
That's all the time we have today, guys, so please, as always, let me know what you thought about today's episode somewhere on the internet. And hey, if you want to support the show, here's one cool way you can do it. Go to thecompletionist.com and check out the digital game store. We partner with Chrono.gg and some awesome indie devs to showcase their games there. And you know what? If you buy the games, they support me and the indie developers themselves. So if you like games like The Messenger, even like stuff like BioShock is on there. We have some really cool games that you guys will enjoy. So check it out, thecompletionist.com, and check out the digital game store. And you know what? If you like the show and you want to hang out, hit that subscribe button, click the bell to stay with us for all notifications. We do new videos every Wednesdays and Saturdays. Guys, I've been Gerard the Completionist. This has been A Mouthful, and I'll see you next week from the brand new episode. Bye-bye.